When we were writing this and talking about this, Corey, you mentioned some other devices and why you discounted some of the other devices. But then you mentioned when you did this, I'm actually looking forward to the forthcoming Supernote A4X2. Now, I did not know that was even a thing that was even close to being announced. And you said the folks at Ratta have estimated the release date to be Q4 of this year.
Yes.
Time to market Q4 this year. So I did a bit of digging. I hadn't heard of this, so I was amazed. I was yesterday evening years old when I heard that actually there's going to be an A5X2. They think quite soon. That's in prototype design already. A5X2, absolutely fascinating. A6X2 as well. Replaceable battery, Android and Linux system, and they're thinking Q3 of this year for those two devices, and then Q4 of this year for A4X2, with one characteristic that it's going to be slim. I know that they've been talking about the Supernote Slim for some time, and this is absolutely fascinating to see that announced there. I even approached them and asked them, is this correct? Is this correct? And they said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but so they wanted me to share this with you. Our future new products, there's a chance the next generation A5X and A6X will be available third to fourth quarter of this year. Well, the A4X is still uncertain at this time. We want to be transparent with the community, so the Chief Chat Officer has shared the information in the picture, which can only be considered as a reference for the direction that we're going. So we don't need to be too sure about these dates. And you can see edited 21 days ago. They are being realistic and they are putting these things out, and as they change, they are sharing them. It's a really fascinating thing, and you mentioned this earlier on, didn't you? That if it's okay for a company to be forthright and saying this is where we're going, this is what's coming, this is what you should look for. And actually, I've put the link to this in the description as well. They give a software roadmap, Supernote do, and they made this statement, which I think was really useful. Please be assured that Supernote is a brand that refuses planned obsolescence, and even with the launch of new products, we will provide software updates and customer support for the A5X and A6X according to the roadmap. And that's what you want to hear, really, isn't it? A company that refuses to make their devices obsolete, when actually they bring out new things, they are still going to be supporting the old things. And that's a nice thing there. I also mentioned in the last live stream that if you import from Scribe in the EU, you have to pay an extra tax. But actually what actually happens, I found just the other day, I found that actually when you go through Scribe in the EU, a lot of people are concerned about buying the Ratta Supernote because of the price and buying it from the EU and importing it into the UK. But actually the French VAT comes off, and then you just have to pay the UK tax or any other non-EU import tax on top of the non-VAT'd price. So actually there is better news about that price as well for the Ratta Supernote. One more thing to say about the Supernote is that the A5 Slim, which is the furthest into the grass really in terms of when it's going to come, an ultra slim, simple and easy to use platform, and actually based around Linux as well. Based on a Linux platform only on the A5 Slim. So that's really interesting. They're keeping that Linux side going of their development, Supernote.